So, wir sind auf dem Weg zum Weltfliegenkundler-Kongress in Namibia, während hier eine Werbetafel etwas von der Wildnis vorgaukelt und eine Ausstellung macht, fliegen wir tatsächlich hin. Ich bin mal sehr gespannt. Ich wurde eingeteilt, den Hauptvortrag zu halten, den hauptöffentlichen Vortrag bei der Wissenschaftlichen Gesellschaft, die übrigens auch auf Deutsch Wissenschaftliche Gesellschaft heißt, weil Namibia mal eine deutsche Kolonie war. Und da wollen wir mal sehen, ob es da Beef gibt oder ob alle cool sind und wie es da aussieht und ob da Wildnis ist. Mehr Wildnis als hier am Frankfurter Flughafen. Bist du ganz poetisch findest, ne?
Ja, man kann es auf dem Video gar nicht so richtig sehen, aber es sieht wirklich aus, als wäre ein Tropfen Gold dort runtergetropft und man würde die ganzen Spritzer sehen. Also es sieht sehr, sehr schön aus.
Alright, there are already baboons. So, das erste Problem ist bereits aufgetaucht. Wir haben versucht, Danke zu lernen.
Ja.
Es ist Toya, Pandula, Tagi, Tangi und Tanki oder Tanki
Danke.
Auf Afrikaans.
Sie konnten sich nicht einig werden. Gab es direkt Krieg?
Krieg würde ich sagen, aber deutliche Uneinheit. Ines, du hast gerade eine wichtige Lektion gelernt.
Nochmal, Linksverkehr herrscht hier.
Das bedeutet?
Ja, man muss nach rechts gucken.
Und links gucken.
Nein, vor allem nach rechts gucken, wenn man auf die Straße läuft.
Das ist ein großes Problem, weil man auch nicht immer so ganz genau weiß, wo rechts und links ist. Ne?
Ja, also nach da gucken, wenn man auf die Straße läuft.
Sie hat gerade den gesamten Verkehr hier angehalten. Ey. Das war knapp. Ja, wir sehen hier was richtig Geiles. Weihnachtsornamentale, das Crossover. Das ist der Weihnachtslöwe, ein Löwe mit Weihnachtsmütze. Die Flo kann man drauf zoomen. Ja. Und das eigentlich noch fast geiler, das Weihnachtskamel. Das flackernde Weihnachtskamel. Live aus Namibia, Windhoek für euch. Ines und Marc. Spontanes Tänzchen, hast du auch Lust? Nein. Warum nicht?
Kann ich tanzen?
Du kannst wohl tanzen. Du willst aber nicht tanzen.
Ich kann einfach nicht tanzen.
Jetzt sind wir im Konferenzcenter und hier sind schon die ersten kolumbianischen Gäste. Hello, Colombian Scientists. Hello. This is Marta. Marta, what is your favorite fly? Which fly do you like best? The best fly?
My Benecke.
Why?
Because it's big, beautiful, brilliant.
Like you. Beautiful and brilliant. That's very good. What is your favorite fly?
I like Dipterology
Why?
because they are related with microfungi.
Oh, and why is that good? Because you also like microfungi?
Yes, I like
No.
so much.
Too much. What's your favorite fly? Hello.
Floor flies,
Floor flies?
Yes.
Why?
because they are pollinators and then can fly, hovering, and they are brilliant, they mimic some hymenoptera.
And they're
wonderful.
and useful too, because they're
Yes.
pollinators.
Yes, of course.
No corpse flies. Corpse flies, I think, are not. Do you like corpse flies?
I like, but I don't like corals. I like stratiomids.
Yeah, aha, very good. All stratiomids or just some?
They are decomposers and pollinators.
So you like both decomposition and pollination. That's very good. Very nice. All right. So hello, Colombian guests. Okay, Marta ist hier und wir wollen sehen, ob sie deutsche Gewohnheiten kennt. Marta, you know Germans, right? Some Germans. Your daughter was in Germany. And so did she tell you about this food from Germany? Do you know which food this could be? She doesn't know. It's a
No sé.
you know, no sé. It's a dumpling, ein Thüringer Knödel. Don't you have food like this in Southern America?
No.
It's like potatoes mashed together and then they become a dumpling. You don't know it? No potato dumplings?
No.
Okay, you get one here.
I thank
Yes.
you.
I only have one and another one, but you're good. Thüringer
Thank you.
potato dumpling. There we go. Wir sind auf dem Weltfliegenkundler- und Weltfliegenkundlerinnen-Kongress. Hier sind meine Kollegen aus Kolumbien. Und, hola. Und jetzt erfahrt ihr, warum ich Marquito heiße. You will explain. What does Marquito mean?
Marquito.
It's small mark.
Marco pequeño.
But look, you're smaller than me.
Ah, yes.
So why am I Marquito? I should be, what would be tall Mark?
Marcote.
Marcote. But I'm not. And also here in Colombia they say chicanero to me. What does that mean? What does chicanero mean?
It's something very pleasant, but I don't know what to say.
You find out. Postet hier drunter, was chicanero bedeutet. Ciao. So, wir sind auf dem Kongress and next to me it's Martin Hall, a person who does it for a very long time, working with insects and corpses. And you once told us that you saw a big elephant in Africa when you were young or something that was decomposed by flies.
That's right, yes. I'm going to show that in my talk.
You will show that?
Yeah. Within 8 days or so, 50% of it was decomposed by blowflies alone. Just shows you the power of blowflies.
And Carl von Linné already said something like that blowflies can decompose like a corpse nearly as fast as a lion or something like that.
Yeah, probably quicker. And
probably quicker.
If it wasn't for blowflies, our countryside, even in Germany, Britain, will be full of much more slowly.
We don't have a
decomposing
countryside in
blowflies.
Germany.
No.
It's all efficient and clear.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. And you were also the head of the department of flies, two winged insects at the Museum of Natural History in London. Oh, you
I
still
was
are?
for a short time, yes.
Yes.
I'm now, that department's gone, I'm afraid, but we're a department of life sciences now. Entomology is one small component of it.
Why is the Dipterology department gone?
Dipterology unfortunately was never a department. It was just always a division.
Flies.
But we still have a Diptera section.
But this now is the World Congress of Dipterologists.
Absolutely.
Now you are not wearing a checkerboard pattern shirt.
Not today.
But most do. But tomorrow you will.
I'm sure sometime in the Congress I will. Yeah.
You can recognize Dipterologists by their checkerboard square pattern shirts. How many do you have? Checkerboard square pattern shirts.
I have at least a dozen. Yeah.
And how many insects did you have, or are still in the collection at the Museum of Natural History?
We've got something like 30 million insects.
In the collection?
In the collection, yeah.
How many species do you think exist, insect species? Do you have any rough idea, or is it completely unknown?
It's completely unknown really, but I mean there are guesses of between 1 and 10 million, so yeah. There's a lot out there.
There's a lot out there, and much of it is not known yet.
Absolutely.
Go and check out insects. It's good for you. Here's the first person with a checkerboard square pattern shirt, which is typically for dipterologists.
Yeah.
I think. Do you think it's true? Or?
I don't know. I think it's very English.
It's very English.
Yes.
It's very British. And you are an honorary member since you took part in all of the Dipterology congresses.
That's
here.
right. Yes.
Do you remember the first congress?
Yes, it was in Budapest, and it was exciting because at the time the Iron Curtain still existed.
Oh.
So we were able to go to Budapest and meet all our Russian colleagues, Polish colleagues, Hungarians, Czechs, Slovaks, everybody. And I still remember the first time I walked into the first lecture, and there was Zaitsev from St. Petersburg giving a talk, and it was very exciting.
Oh wow! And you knew him already for a long time from his papers?
From correspondence, we knew a lot of them, yes. Because there was no barrier to correspondence. And I had quite a number of Russian colleagues and did identifications for colleagues in Russia. So
what is your favorite or your specialized species?
My family studies muscady, houseflies.
Oh, they are very difficult. Do you have any anything to say for somebody who wants to learn to identify muscids, apart from asking you if you want to do it yourself?
Don't ask me, I'm getting too old, I won't be around forever. So you've got to learn yourself, and the best thing to do is just to go out and collect them, and then try one of the keys. There's a key to Central European muscady. Just ridiculously expensive, but if you get a scrap, it's over £100. Ridiculous.
But it's worth it.
Well,
if you want to learn it, it's worth it.
Yes, or you just photocopy the keys. Get a PDF of the keys from somebody who has the book.
You did not hear that here.
And then just try it out. It's just trial and error. And make sure you go to a museum that has an identifying collection, so you can just check your identifications against what's there. Or if you're not sure what certain characters are, then you can consult identified specimens in the collection. But it's a slow process with any group.
Do you think you master the whole family by now, or? Would it take another 50 years or so?
No, I would have said I was more familiar 20 or 30 years ago.
Oh.
When I was working in the Natural History Museum. Because there was a world collection. Every day I just pull out a drawer with some genus that I hadn't looked at before. Of course, now I don't have the facility, I'm retired, so I slowly forget things.
So you did still know Kenneth G.V. Smith?
Oh gosh, yes. He was a great friend of mine. I knew him for many years. And I went to his funeral not so long ago and wrote his obituary, which has been published. If you want a copy, I can send it to you.
Yes, please. He was the man who gave us the manual of forensic entomology.
That's right.
Kenneth
Yes,
Smith.
yes.
So thank you very much.
A pleasure.
And have a beautiful congress.
You too.
Jeff Wells has a severe problem. A, he does not have one of these. Also, he does not have a checkerboard square pattern shirt.
apologize for that.
Why do you not have a checkerboard square pattern shirt? Since we think that most dipterologists have like a set. Martin Hall has 12.
So I am severely affected by the fact that I live in Miami, and the clothes that I wear is very much affected by that, and it has a stronger effect than my dipterology.
Oh, I see. Did you take any experiments on that, or do you have data on that, or is it just personal, anecdotal experience?
This
Yeah.
is what we wear.
Seriously, the
Yes.
sporty dress?
Yes.
Do you do any sports?
Well, this would be something you would wear kayaking or windsurfing
And you
or
do that?
sailing. I do, yes.
So this is the only sporty scientist I ever met. What does it do to you doing sports? Can you recommend it for the younger viewers?
Well, yes, I can recommend it for the younger viewers. I think it has a strong boost to your intellect. But again, it's rather local. Where I live in southern Florida, there is almost no dry land. You have to get out on the water or you're confined. And so I'm forced to do it for that reason.
Ah, okay. So you didn't have a choice.
That is pretty close to the truth, yeah.
And you also sail, didn't you say that once?
I do, yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So take an example of Jeff, and then final question: What's your favorite insect group? I mean, or if in case it's flies, then which type of fly is your favorite?
The genus Chrysomia.
Why is that?
Yes. Well, I think this is not unusual. You begin to work on a group for some practical reason. Maybe you get some funding to work on it, or you think it's something interesting, and you don't love the group at that time. But as you become familiar with them, you grow to love the group.
So you did not love your group in the first place?
Not at all. So I'm a forensic entomologist. I was not attracted to that. And I grew into it with association.
You would have preferred caliphorids, or?
Well, I began working on caliphorids as an ecologist, not as a forensic entomologist, and it developed over time. But the fact is, biology is fascinating, and it becomes more fascinating the more you know. If you study a particular group, you know more about them. So you discover the fascinating things about them, and you would probably discover fascinating things about any group you've studied.
What is the most fascinating fact in your group of flies that you prefer?
Well, I really like the fact that one particular species has adapted so well to humans.
Albiceps, or?
I'm thinking of Megacephala, Chrysomia megacephala, and we don't know this for sure, but it is possible that Chrysomia megacephala adapted in response to humans' effect on the environment.
Ah.
So it is potentially a species that we created, and it went on to become a human pest.
That's what happens when you tinker around too much with the environment.
That is the moral story there. Yes.
There you go. So you heard something moral here at the live from the World Congress of Dipterologists.
International Congress of Dipterology.
Number 9.
In Windhoek,
Namibia. Wir sind hier wieder mit unseren kolumbianischen Freunden und es gibt ein Rätsel. We are here with our Colombian friends and we have coffee, the Germans have coffee and the Colombians drink beer. What's going on? What's good?
Beer?
Why? Why no coffee?
I know. Because the coffee, we bring our coffee.
You bring your own coffee from Colombia.
Yes, we bring our coffee from Colombia, and we didn't yet taste the coffee of.
You want to try? Come on, you can try it, and then you tell us.
I couldn't miss with. Okay, I try.
Nobody drank from that, so you can.
Okay, I will try for the first time. We have 2 days here. 2 days here, but it's my first coffee, Namibian coffee. That's good, but our is better.
Yours is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
We drink for Marco because
They really brought their own coffee. That's unbelievable. How many kilograms did you bring? 1 kilogram? You think that's enough? You think it's enough? 1 kilogram coffee?
It's the biggest. It's the biggest. It's the biggest.
We are at the welcome reception, first day. Hello.
Hello.
Did you come over to me?
Yes.
How come?
Because you are my idol in the entomological world.
Oh my God, what did I do?
And my mother watched you on TV and said I have to meet you.
What did I do to make?
Just the work that you do is awesome and inspiring.
What are you working with?
Forensic as well. Forensic flies, but still trying to figure out what we even have in the country.
Which country do you come from?
South Africa.
Ah, I see. So you have caliparids for sure.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite species yet?
Chrysomeria chlorophaga.
Oh really? Chlorophaga? Does it have a green color or something like that?
It's got all of them.
Oh.
They're the copper bottom ones. They're the prettiest.
They are the prettiest. If you ever go to Southern Africa, look for them. But the larvae usually sometimes they have spikes. Do they also have spikes?
No, that's albiceps.
Yeah, but yours don't have spikes. So beautiful larvae, colorful flies. There you go. Thank you very much. Do you know which species that is?
I know.
You don't know.
Beautiful one.
But you know which species. Jeff also knows it.
I'm sure you're pretty annoyed by this, but she's not an entomologist, so I just want to explain. Do you mind?
Oh, please.
So you see this line right here? Yes. It goes through that cross vein. That's not a real vein, and that diagnoses that family. So you can see with the naked eye. For an entomologist, something that obvious is, we consider that really obvious.
It's very obvious.
But the eyes and everyone recognize. Oh,
Where do you come from? Oh, from Brazil.
yes, I'm from Brazil.
Is it a fly from Brazil?
Yes. No. Penis is the type of Cirrus, but we have a very similar one that's actually two: Cirrus face sigma and Cirrus shorty.
Why did you decide for this one here?
I made it in Brazil, and I decided when I started my doctoral degree in 2012.
Why don't you have a checkerboard square pattern shirt like him? Because we think that Dipterologists should have one. Do you also have one, a checkerboard square pattern shirt?
Sorry, I got it. I didn't get
You
it.
don't have one?
No.
No, she doesn't have one. Oh, that's sad. But you have other beautiful clothing and a tattoo. Yeah, she's got tattoos. Thank you. Cześć, we are now in the middle of the international thing. This is Krzysztof from Torun.
Yes.
It's the city where Nicolaus Copernicus comes from. That's how your university is also named. And you're an entomology professor.
Yes.
Why do you not wear a checkerboard pattern square shirt? You know, like with the checkerboard square pattern. You should do it. You don't do it. No, you don't do it. And you spent your time collecting flesh flies the last week.
Exactly.
What did you find?
check pattern.
What?
They have.
The flies have a checkerboard pattern.
Yes, but those which we collected here are mostly with the spots on the abdomen, not the checkered pattern.
I see. What did you find anything that you have never seen before?
Yes, most of those species were unknown for me, or I only saw the specimens collections.
And how do you collect them? Dry or in alcohol or what do you do?
Both.
And how do you bring the alcohol back to Poland?
With the small vials.
Small
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem. And you needed to get a permit because allegedly you can go to prison if you collect something.
Yes, of course, we fix all necessary permits that we can do it legally.
But do you think that is necessary or do you think it's a little bit over the top?
It's a bit strange in case of flies, yeah, but we should follow the law.
That's true. And you said you found flesh flies inside of termite hills, right?
Not inside, but around.
And what?
Around.
Yeah, and you said they're kleptoparasites. What are kleptoparasites?
They store the food from the nests of other insects like hymenopterans or termites.
But they're not stealing wood, right? No, they're not stealing wood.
No.
No.
They just eat what they can find inside the nest. Yeah, the dead termites, the living termites, the larvae,
nymph, some food, the fungi which are bred by not bred.
Breeding chambers.
They're bred by the termites. Nobody exactly knows.
But how do they get inside? You said maybe they follow some larger animals.
Probably they follow some the termitophorous animals like aardvark or something.
But do you think you're the first researcher to research that?
No. It was many other like the South African Fritz. Yeah, they spend a lot of time on the research this group of the insects.
So how excited are you now on a level from 1 to 10 at the 9th International Fly Expert Congress?
For me it starts to be routine because this is my 4th Congress.
So you met a person who was at every single Congress and now you meet a university professor who was at 4 Congresses already.
Yes.
Das ist eine Spinne. Eine ganz große Spinne. Sehr groß. Wir wissen nicht, ob wir sie jetzt filmen können.
Spinnen sind keine Insekten. Wie kann man sie unterscheiden?
An den Beinen.
Wie viele Beine haben die Spinne?
8 Beine und Insekten haben nur 6 Beine.
Und Kühe?
4 Beine.
Menschen?
Das sind auch keine Insekten.
Menschen?
Nein, Menschen sind auch keine Insekten.
Haben 2 Beine. Now, since we do very weird cases over the years, I do this now for more than 25 years. We get cases, and now this is the topic of the talk. The problem is, people ask me, is Hitler alive, is Elvis alive? Most of you would not take the case, because you would say, come on, what the heck? Well, I take those cases. This is me in the State Archive in Moscow. This is theoretically an official open archive, but of course it's not, but it was for a very brief interval. And they gave us, this is a part of the sofa where Hitler and his wife shot themselves, or poisoned and shot themselves. And this is the skull of Hitler. So we do take the cases, we get the cases, and this is the bullet exit wound. And we could reconstruct the shooting wound. And we also get Hitler's teeth, and you would say, come on, these are never Hitler's teeth. Whenever you saw him speaking, they're clean and they're white. But we got the x-rays from several secret services, British, American, and another one. And these are Hitler's teeth because the x-rays were done before he died. Final example is this one here. We get a Van Gogh painting. This guy seems to own it. He really wants this to be a Van Gogh painting because the value now is, 2018 would be 60 million US dollars probably. So he wants to prove it. And we are looking at the stains, and we are getting closer now to our insects here. And I don't think you can see anything here, but he can. Again, I take the case. Everybody said this is an odd polish, nut case, forget it. But it's not. When you look closer, you find things. This, for example, is a white stain, and another sample that we found was a red fiber that was actually hair. And since you know that Van Gogh had red hair, that was quite interesting because this is on top of, or it might be on top of it, but the red hair was embedded in the paint. So to have it, it's better to look and to observe, and that's a lesson you can obviously learn from forensic science and from natural science. Thank you very much. That's it. Hello Dorothy.
Hello.
From where do you come?
I come from Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
Yes.
How far is this away from Windhoek?
About 2,000 kilometers.
These are huge distances. We are not used to that in Europe. And you took bacteria from the feet of flies.
Yes.
And inoculated dead mice.
Yes.
Why did you do that?
I wanted to find out if the mice would decompose faster than the ones that didn't have any of that bacteria on them.
And what did you find? Do they decompose faster or no?
There was no significant difference. There was a difference in how the decomposition took place, like what chemical pathways it took, but there was no difference in how fast it could occur.
But you think that flies can distribute bacteria to the corpses? Do you think it's possible?
Yes, because there's succession studies that were done that show that as soon as the Calliphoridae flies arrive at a body, that's when you start seeing swabbing off this particular bacteria from the body.
So that's a relatively new field. So here is a researcher doing something really, really new. And you can spend, will you spend the rest of your life with this? Yes, you will.
Well, I might not because of the situation, but I would have loved to.
That is the true spirit. Thank you very much. Here's one of the organizers. How do you feel now that the Congress is moving?
Relieved.
How long did you work on this?
I think it's probably been about 2 years worth of organizing.
Come a little bit closer.
2 years worth of organizing and doing everything and trying to get everything sorted, abstracts and programs and websites and payment portals, and it's been chaos.
Oh, payment portals. Hey, but you helped people to write better abstracts, so you did a little bit language editing. I saw that.
Mostly Ashley. I did more of the layout editing and that sort of stuff, but it's been interesting.
Did you change during the last 2 years?
Not too much.
I probably just got fatter.
A bit more stress, but that's all.
Yeah. More grey hair.
More grey hair. You don't have. Now, what's with the warm sweatshirt? We thought in Africa it's super warm and everything, but you're from Southern Africa and you are wearing like a woolen shirt.
It's the first day, so tomorrow I'll have shorts and sandals.
So you consider this to be like very formal?
For where I'm from, we call it, as one of my friends call it, Bloemfontein formal. Where we're from, it's Bloemfontein formal.
It's Bloemfontein formal.
And this is check pattern.
Learn from him. Oh yeah, and it's checkerboard square pattern. Does it count?
Yeah, I think it's count.
It counts. So true checkerboard pattern, square pattern. All right. So post your fashion remarks under this video. If you like, what's Bloemfontein formal?
Bloemfontein formal.
Bloemfontein is the city where your National Museum.
National Museum is, yes.
Oh, it's the National Museum for the whole country.
No, just called National Museum Bloemfontein.
It's just called National Museum. Burgert. Is it with the R? Do you roll the R when you say Burgert? Or?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
how do you say that?
In Afrikaans it's Burgert, but in German it's Burgert.
Oh, I see. But at least you roll the R. Roll the R.
Yes.
What's with that animal here? No, nobody in Europe has ever seen it. What is it?
Mormatomia hirsuta. It's only monotypic fly in Africa.
What does it do?
It occurs in rocky outcrops up in Kenya, I believe, and it's associated with bats and bat guano.
So it lives together with bats? What does it do with the bats? Like feed from them or just?
I think the larvae they feed on bat guano.
So just in the bat guano, in the feces of bats.
Yeah, they've basically found pupae in there and the larvae are in there as well.
Do you know why they have so many hair? I mean, if I would live in feces, I would not have many hair because then the feces would stick to me.
Well, I don't think they live in the feces, the larvae. But if you let's say drop them, they almost float like a feather as well. So their hair might be something for translocation.
That's beautiful. These animals can float like a feather.
Yes.
That's poetic. So live from the Congress of Entomology, some poetic. If you want to write a poem, post it under the video here. We are still at the Congress for Entomology and there's an elephant. Is that normal around here in Southern Africa to have elephants on the carpet?
Elephants, there's some rhinos in the corners too.
There are also rhinos. You were giving a talk and you saw an anomaly in your data. All of a sudden you had a lot of flies.
A lot of flies.
A lot of flies, green flies.
2,500.
And you had no idea where they were coming from initially?
Nope. Eventually I found them, so our rubbish company that picks up our rubbish went on strike. So Pick It Up were on strike for a month and the garbage just sat there being uncollected, and obviously the flies literally did their thing and bred like flies.
Did you learn anything from that for casework? For example, look for huge piles of garbage or something like that?
For the one area, yes. The other areas it didn't affect.
Do you have any idea?
No, just kill someone in summer and dump them in the veldt. It's much safer than the middle of town.
Thank you very much. Advice from the forensic entomologist. So ihr Lieben, wir haben gerade mal eine kurze Kaffeepause hier beim Internationalen Kongress der Insektenkundler, genauer gesagt der Fliegenkundler und Fliegenkundlerinnen. Und ich erzähle euch mal was auf Deutsch, weil sonst die anderen Videos alle auf Englisch sind und sein werden. Also das hier, das ist eine Fliege. Ja, das kann man hier kaum sehen. Hier sind ganz kleine Stummelflügel. Und diese Fliege legt ihre Eier in den Kot von Fledermäusen. Und in diesem Fledermauskot wachsen die Larven heran. Und dann schlüpfen die und dann sehen die hinterher so aus. Das sind auch Fliegen. Meint man gar nicht. Mücken sind übrigens auch Fliegen, also zumindest Diptera, also zweiflügelige Insekten. Und warum haben die so viele Haare hier? Das ist das Logo vom diesjährigen Kongress, weil sie sozusagen wie eine Feder dann herabschweben können. Also die benutzen gar nicht ihre Flügel, sondern die benutzen diese zahlreichen Haare, um herabzuschweben. Und die gibt es nur regional begrenzt, die gibt es nicht überall auf der Welt. Und das zweite Geile, was ich euch zeigen will, ist, dass hier die Teppiche ein bisschen anders aussehen. Also wir gehen jetzt mal in den Sitzungsraum, wo die Vorträge gehalten werden. Jetzt ist ja Pause. Da könnt ihr sehen, der Teppich sieht ein bisschen anders aus als sonst. Da sind nämlich andere Tiere drauf oder andere Ornamente, nämlich Nashörner und Elefanten. Abgefahren. Also ihr seht, die Tiere sind hier ein bisschen anders und Menschen sind überall auf der Welt gleich. Und so funktioniert so ein Kongress. Achso, hier vielleicht noch hier vorne. Sieht das aus? Und hier vorne, da stellt man sich ans Pult. Wer das noch nicht gesehen hat, da kann man sprechen. Habe ich auch schon. Morgen bin ich nochmal dran. Und Freitag bin ich nochmal dran. Ich muss 3 Vorträge halten. Okay, it's a very international congress. Here's a Hungarian person from Lausanne in the middle of Africa taking photos of a bat. And you are interested in bats, aren't you?
Yes, I'm working with bat flies. It's a Dipterology group, ectoparasitic on bats.
And do you know the logo fly? The logo fly that's also related to bats. Why it has so many hair? Is it to sail down? Or?
I have no idea because actually that fly doesn't live on the bat. It develops in the bat guano, so it's connected with bats in their development, but they don't take blood. They are not parasitic, at least as far as I know.
Yeah, so we don't know. So here you have ants and a bat.
Yes.
What does it tell you?
That is dead for a while.
How long do you estimate?
I don't know, but it's really dry, so probably for some days now.
Yeah. Are you interested in dead animals too? Or more in live animals?
I like when they are alive, but they are still pretty interesting when they are dead.
That's funny. How many languages do you speak? French?
No, I don't really speak French. English and Hungarian.
Oh, okay, so that's good. And insect language, so to speak. You know something about the biology of the insects. Aha, something has come up. You see a tail on the bat here.
Yeah, but I'm not a bat expert, so I hope nobody else is watching this. So it has a long tail, so I think it's a free-tailed bat, family Molluskidae, which has a lot of species in Africa, and I think it's one of the species, but I don't know which one.
But how did you come to research bat flies? Did you first like bats or first flies?
No, for me it was parasites first.
Parasites first?
Yeah, and then I found my previous supervisor who was working with bats, and I was very happy to work with him because bat has a lot of parasites, so pretty cool.
You like bats because they have many parasites? Yeah, we heard that many of them had like super many parasites in them, like 80% of the population. What type of parasites are these?
A lot of viruses, arthropods, ectoparasites, fleas, bat flies, and also endoparasites, but I don't know a lot about that. But a lot of endoparasites as well, like worms and stuff.
But how does that co-evolve? I mean, why do the bats survive the high pressure of parasites?
Probably because of some immunological reason, but I'm not really familiar with this topic. But I think there are some papers recently published in this topic.
So look up the papers, and meanwhile we look at the tail here. Maybe you get a little bit closer to the tail.
Pretty cool.
It's a bat tail. So we have one colleague here from Iran. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, he works at California. Pleasure's on our side. And you're from the Scientific Society?
I'm a Namibian, born and bred, third generation, German speaking.
But in Germany it's called Wissenschaftliche Gesellschaft. Also sagen wir es mal auf Deutsch. Warum waren hier so viele Deutsche?
Es war zu einer Zeit ein Geschäftsführer, der fast nur Deutsch konnte, und da ist es sehr deutsch geworden. Aber seit der Unabhängigkeit sind wir wieder richtig typisch namibisch. Wir sprechen Englisch, so we speak English. We've got close to 1,000 members. We are currently the most prominent representative of civil society. Our slogan is Science for Society, and we try to bring whatever news there is to the educated part of the population over. And this is where we are so glad to have you, especially. And we are so happy that this is happening in Namibia, first time in Africa. Wow!
It's the first congress of this type.
ICD in Africa. We do have a lot of international congresses, like we had last year, I think, the World Summit for the Lutherans. celebrating 500 years of Martin Luther. We had a few years ago Otter Adventure Travel Tourism Summit. So there are quite some summits in this country, but one of this caliber, a scientific congress, this does not happen every day, and this is a good way to close the year and to start with the launch of Fly 2019.
But we have a question. How do we say danke here in Namibia? Because we heard you can say it's Southern African tongue in Afrikaans. You can say it in German, Dankeschön.
Yes.
You can say it in different languages of ethnic groups.
Yes,
what would you prefer?
you
Which one is the best?
You say all of those. We do understand each other. So if you say Dankeschön, thank you, Danke, and
anything will work.
Yes. Namibians can talk to each other speaking different languages and understanding each other still. So we are very relaxed.
Namibia is the Switzerland of Africa. All types of languages. What would
in that regard, yes.
In that
when
regard.
it comes to the money,
not in the regard of money. What would be thank you in your home language? That means many thanks. Okay. And what means have a nice congress? You heard it. We have a nice congress here. Okay, here is Jeff Wells. We all are continuing to learn all our lives, right? We are. And
I have a great desire to learn some Afrikaans.
Afrikaans. And we learn in Afrikaans. Cheers. What would you say in Florida when you say cheers? Just cheers or?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute, because it's Spanish.
Oh, salute. Okay. And here it's gezondheid.
No.
Yes, it's gezondheid. Can you say that?
Gezondheid.
There we go.
Gezondheid.
Gezondheid.
Wow.
So if anything, this event is intended as a big thank you to you, the entire Dipterological community. Projects such as this really attest to the spirit of cooperation and collaboration that exists in the global Dipterological community, which is something I think we should be very proud of. To those of you I have harangued, bullied, shamed into getting your chapters submitted in time for publication, and the cardboard emails I have sent, I am sorry.
First, let us go back to 1758, when the first flies from Africa were described by Carl Linnaeus in the 10th edition of his Systema Naturae. In the decades that followed, travellers and later settlers and citizen scientists amassed enormous collections of flies, which were described by dipterists mostly in Europe and North America. Monographs were published on the groups of economic, medical.
Next to me, no, wait, show it first. Next to me is Brad Sinclair, wearing a checkerboard square pattern, not a shirt, but this time it's a jacket. It's not checkerboard square pattern, it's something like that. And you're editor of the manual that is the new standard now for tropical flies. How do you feel in this moment?
Very honored.
Seriously?
Relieved.
Relieved.
It's not over yet.
How many years did you work on this already?
4 years, plus another 4 or 5.
And you helped me a lot, and we never met before. So now in Namibia we meet for the first time. We had a student, and he put pigs out at the edge of a forest, and then most of the insects had to be identified and landed at you. How did that happen? Why did he come to you, the student, or why do people come to you at all?
I'm a fly specialist, so there's not many people who can identify flies.
Why is that? It sounds interesting to me, but why are not so many students or people capable of doing it?
It's very specialized, a lot of patience.
What is the most?
Not many students are trained for identification. They're going into genetics.
What is the most painful? Pulling out the genitalia, or what do you hate most when it comes to identification of flies?
The smell of a rotting sample.
So, how did you feel when you did work on our forensic little project? Did the insects smell very bad for you? Or?
No, they were already extracted from the pigs, so it wasn't so bad.
It wasn't so bad. Would you ever do a forensic project again, or was that a one-timer?
No, I enjoyed it.
Dear students, if you're interested to work with Brad again, send him your decomposed materials. No. What would you recommend to younger biologists who are interested in morphology and not in DNA? What should they do to make their thing going and not become geneticists?
Just keep at it. Be patient. something happens. You know, jobs appear. You never know.
Were you a very nerdy child, like reading comic books at home and not playing soccer or something?
No, I was a very late bloomer.
You were late?
I started in university as my interest in insects.
Oh, and at home, were you? Did you do sports and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, I like nature and outdoors, but I wasn't not a collector of insects as a child.
Ah, so first you were a naturalist and then you became interested in the flies. How did that happen?
I learned in university. I wanted to know the names of species, names of what I was looking at. So it was just an attraction. And at the university I was at, the professor, his focus was flies. And in Canada, the number one insect is a fly.
Which one is it?
Oh, it's just everything is a fly.
Oh, you mean
we have a fifth season in Canada, the fly season.
And that is all year? No.
That's the biting fly season when the mosquitoes, black flies, and deer flies all come out at once. Very hungry.
Did you hear that? He said out. Do you say that out with an O? Like instead of out with an A? You don't do that?
Not intentionally.
Not intentionally. All right. Brad Sinclair, the man who helped me a lot, the man who brought us all the manual. The man. Thank you very much. Hello, you just gave a speech. Are you happy?
I'm very happy too.
You're very happy, that's good. And we like the speech. And you found certain flight genera on fungi. And you said it very, very quickly in Spanish. Which genera did you find?
I found Fronas, Sycamia, Rimosa, Cordylar, Neolodia, Paraciclonera, Paraleia, Neurateleptinia.
Thank you.
I tried.
You did. It was very good. It was good, right?
Yeah,
it was good. Thank you. Here is the chief of the Congress. How long did you organize the whole Congress?
Oh, it's taken us about 4 years, isn't it?
It took him 4 years to organize the Congress. And now the crucial question, he already helped me to set up my tie because I don't know how to do a tie knot. And there are two options. So tonight I have to give a plenary speech or a public speech. And I have the tie with self-drawn animals or the Hufflepuff tie. That's from Harry Potter, from a guy who loves animals very much. What do you think is better?
I think it has to be the flies, of course.
Okay.
Definitely the flies.
Tonight the flies.
The flies must win out tonight.
Flies, and there's also Beetle on it. Is that okay?
Well, it's kind of marginal, but I think we can allow that.
What would you say? What's the main difference between a fly and a beetle? If you want to explain it to a general public.
Well, one is interesting, one's not quite so interesting.
Thank you very much. Hello, Erica.
Hello.
You are the chief of the fly collection at the Natural History Museum in London?
No, I'm not.
Would you like to be?
No.
You were called the brightest star of Dipterology yesterday. How does that come?
Just stop it, Diddle. It's an entertaining title. In comparison to most people who do flies, I'm nothing. So the real experts are everyone else in the room.
Why do they call you the brightest star?
Because I love talking about flies. So that's
so you're the best.
Yeah, I'm
best
the voice of flies. That's a nicer word to admit.
The voice of flies standing next to me. And you said you have millions and millions of flies, and it would take you how many years to digitalize?
150,000?
150,000 years to digitalize all of the flies.
Just the mosquitoes.
Just the mosquitoes?
Just the mosquitoes, not the other 3.5 million or whatever it is, 2.5 million flies.
How many years are you working on it right now?
10.
So only 140,000 something. And
I've got to work a little bit faster. I think that's the take-home message. Yeah.
Thank you.
You all come to the collection.
Yeah, all the students. That's
Yes.
right. Hey,
We need you.
We need you.
Yes.
Go to London to the Natural History
Yes.
Museum and digitalize.
Use the specimens. Work on the specimens. There's a lot of specimens there for you.
Are you going to give them to students? Because I think you're sometimes.
No, it depends. Yes, it very much depends on how good the students are. But they're welcome to come and have a look.
Cheers.
Yeah.
We are still at the Fly Congress, and here is the head of the afternoon session concerning, at least you are searching for the ears in flies. So flies do hear something, do they?
Flies here, they hear a bunch of things, and some here with tympanic ears like ours, and some here with antennae.
And what do they? In your case, they're hearing when frogs sing. Is that correct?
That's right. So male frogs are calling to attract a female to try to mate, and they get attacked by these frog biting agents that use the sound to get to them and bite, get a blood meal.
And they want to suck the blood.
Yeah,
But they can also transfer illnesses.
Yeah,
probably.
so they're vectors of disease. They pass on a blood parasite.
So it would be clever not to make any sounds anymore, being a frog, but that's not an option probably.
They can, because if they don't call, they don't mate, so they can't.
No females then. How long are you searching for the ears in flies by now?
So for these flies, it's been a decade. It's been a long journey, but we're nailing it down, and we think we're understanding how they're using their antennae better.
What do your private friends think about that? Do they understand what you're doing, or do you just say I'm a biologist, go away or something?
They all think it's hilarious. I work on animal communication, and they make jokes that maybe that's how I understand my husband.
There you go. So from flies, blood feeding on frogs, you may learn to understand your husband.
Yeah.
Post your comment under this video if you think that's correct. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. As you can see here, that's the plan. Start is now. End of talks around 1925. And then questions, and then gifts. I have gifts for you. And light refreshments, whatever the light refreshments are. I thought about popcorn, but we'll see what that is. And then there's also happy hour at the skeleton bar. So stay here if you want to, and then things are going to. Those of you who already saw my first talk already saw that. Since we're living in the digital times, we needed a Facebook header. So in case you're interested, here we put up a little Facebook header, and you can try to find out who's who here in the background. This is, I think, for the third time in my whole life that I'm wearing a tie, because I really think it's very, very friendly that I can give a speech here. And the Congress President personally applied the tie to me because I don't want to do that. So it's so behind me. One little thing that is like deep into my heart. In many cases, people report, we saw a corpse and then the maggots, the insect larvae, and the maggots were staring at us. And I was always like, they don't have eyes. What the hell are these? What is wrong? So you can see that there are little dots. And these little dots are at the end of the maggots, and they are breathing holes. So they're breathing. And of course, our human brain is used to, okay, 2 dots, that's a face, these are eyes. But that's not the case, it's the back end of the maggot. And when you get closer, it looks like this, and this already also helps you very much to determine which fly will later come out. So from this, you can determine if it's a blue fly, shiny blue, shiny green, checkerboard, square pattern, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flies. So these are not the eyes, but the breathing openings at the end of the maggot. So whenever you hear that, you know what's going on. It's just the back end staring at you, not the front end. The front end of the blowfly maggots look like this, and also here, just in case you want to enter the field because you think, yeah, it's police and donuts and pizza and I don't know what. It's not happening. What we really do is we look, for example, at the wings, and then at least one person in the room even has a tattoo. These wing venation patterns are very interesting. If you're interested in something like this, you can become a forensic entomologist. If you find that boring, no, you cannot do that. And that's just a brief statement, and then you can ask questions if you want to. That's my website. I will put I already have like 150 photos of the Congress, and many videos are already on Facebook, very funny videos. Dipterologists trying to explain why dipterology is interesting. That's super cool. I think. And the best video I just got in the session about the interaction between flies and toads, and the head of the session said, "Well, my friends understand what I do because it's about communication between toads and flies, and maybe that helps me to understand my husband." So, I don't know which one's which, who's the toad and who's the fly. So, okay. And what you can tell from what I did show you is death is not the end. In case you are afraid of death, there are the shiny green flies and the shiny blue flies, and many other insects, beetles, and many other insects. And there will be maggot carpets, layers full of maggots, carpets full of maggots. And that will all be with you, so you are not alone. And I hope that's a nice thought for tonight when you lay awake. And questions, please. Du warst gerade bei meinem Vortrag und arbeitest mit Spürhunden hier in Namibia, ne?
Ich bin seit 8 Jahren hier in Namibia und habe es in Deutschland nie geschafft, dich zu hören.
Und jetzt musst du erst nach Namibia kommen, damit ich dich mal sehen kann.
Sehr, sehr schön. Also, eine schöne Begegnung hier. Sehr nice. Vielen herzlichen Dank. Many things are very unlikely, but some things are so unlikely that they are nearly impossible. We met first in Medellin, or where in Colombia?
Yeah,
In Medellin, and you're a specialist for insects, and now you are. You explain yourself what you are now. You got a job.
Yeah, I am the new scientific head of the Dipterology collection in Berlin, because the position has a different name because they don't like the word curator. So this is the name.
Head sounds good to me. Head sounds good. Scientific head sounds very good. We like that.
Sounds good.
We like that.
So yeah, that's the new position I got recently. Yeah.
My congratulations. This is really beautiful, and we meet each other in Berlin. Did you know that they got 660 million euros? How much of that will you get?
I don't know, and I shouldn't get wrong information, but what I've heard is that some of these will be dedicated to the collections, and that already makes me very happy. Yep.
Did you bring flies from Colombia with you?
No, I'm not allowed.
You're not allowed?
No.
She's
999.
Okay, literally. Okay, and here's another person. So thank you very much. We meet in Berlin.
Super.
I'm so glad for you. You cannot imagine. This is one of the most unlikely things would have ever expected.
I went to one of your first talks in Colombia some years ago. Not so many because I'm young, but yeah, some time ago. So it's great.
It's unbelievable.
See you, Mark.
See you. I cannot believe that. So you have a question?
Yeah, about the card, right? So why is the colors on the card?
The color is so you know what color it really is, because let's say you have green, blue, and some other shades like gray. You can distinguish it. Wait, let's hold it in the camera. And like this, and then you know which green it really is, because you can either click on white or on red, and then the whole picture will have correct colors.
Oh, I see.
So the software will give you the correct color.
I see. For the photo, right?
It's for the photo.
Yeah, and then the round twirl.
This is good. Finally, somebody asks. It took 27 years. It's because when you tilt it and you take the photo tilted, then using this you can very easily see once it becomes a circle.
Oh.
It's just easy for the human brain to see the circle.
Oh, that's interesting. Thank you for explaining this.
A pleasure.
Yeah, and thanks for your talk. It was really inspirational. Well, I did my honors on forensic entomology when I was very, very young, and then I changed.
How long was that ago? It cannot be very long ago.
Many, many, many years.
Which country?
South Africa. And then I worked on. Now I work on animals.
You mean huge?
Tsetse flies. Yeah.
I see. So you became more practical. No, forensic entomology is also very practical.
Yeah. Now I just run around the bush.
Were you ever bitten by tsetse flies?
Many times. I have a colony, so.
And what do you do against them? I mean, to not get a disease?
Well, in South Africa we don't have the human sickness, right? And the flies don't usually bite humans in South Africa.
Do you have anything to say for her, because she gets bitten whenever one single mosquito is around? She always gets bitten. What would be a good strategy?
No blue clothes.
No blue clothes?
Stay away from blue, and black also is not a good color.
Oh, shit. Now what?
Oh shit.
Bye. Hier ist our little friend, the spider. Unsere kleine Freundin, die Spinne.
Sie ist gar nicht so klein.
Die ist gar nicht so klein, ne?
Nein, die ist schon ziemlich groß.
Aber du hast sie lieb.
Ja.
Warum? Findest du es nicht gruselig?
Ganz friedlich. Ein bisschen gruselig ist es, ja.
Doch, ein bisschen gruselig ist es. Ganz klein bisschen. Aber wir mögen alle Tiere, auch wenn sie 8 Beine haben. One of the Colombian students with the white skin, the student with the white skin, she learned some German words because she wants to come to Germany. And these are very good German words. Not the bad words, usually swear words, curse words, but very good words. Okay, you have to say it.
It's Flügel, Fühler, Hintertarsen.
It's beautiful. Flügel, Fühler, Hintertarsen. That's very nice. Do you want to say that? Can you say it? Hintertarsen.
Wie heißt es? Hintertarsen.
Hintertarsen. Not bad. What's going on? So, can you say Hintertarsen? No. Wow. Here's another international person. Where do you come from?
I'm from Brazil.
You're
Paraná.
from Brazil. Mm-hmm. And you can say something in German.
Yes, I can say ein Kaffee mit ein Schwarzbrot. Ein Kartoffelpie.
Was it good?
Also ich finde das sehr gut, weil dann wird sie nicht verhungern und nicht verdursten.
Ja. Wie fandest du es? Schwarzbrot, Kartoffelbrei?
Ich fand das super. Kartoffelbrei und Schwarzbrot.
Da macht man nichts falsch, ne? It's day 3 of the Dipterologists Congress, and you are still wearing a, what's it called? Not checkerboard square pattern, it's something.
It's Bloemfontein formal.
Here is the founder and the originator and the man who named the Bloemfontein style. How did you get that idea?
There's only a limited amount of dress sense in Bloemfontein, and they managed to push it all together into 2 jerseys. The bright orange one that we saw on day 1, and then they tried to make a second one, but there wasn't quite enough to make another nice colourful one. And so the other Bloemfontein formal that they got was this grayscale version over here.
But he still has a colourful badge, so there's a little bit of colour on the badge.
The badge didn't come from Bloemfontein. That someone else had to give him. He wouldn't have worked out the colour on his own.
How long did it take you to design the style?
It's actually not my style design. I just coined the term. I believe that Birgit actually designed it, and I think it took him 3 weeks to come up with a colourful design, and another 2.5 weeks to work out that he could only do another one in grayscale. Yeah.
Now, and how about you? You are not dressed in the Bloemfontein style. Do you
I'm not from Bloemfontein.
Where do you come from?
Originally from the Eastern Cape. It's a different kind of formal. We don't use razor blades very often, and we just do our best to survive. Yes.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We are still in the middle of the expert Congress for fly experts, but you are working with flies or with organisms that are a little bit more hairy, so to speak. What are these organisms?
Are you implying that I look like my organism?
Exactly. He knew it. Because in biology we have the rule that the longer you work with an organism, the more you look like it. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I cultivate the beard especially to look like the coarser mice I work with.
So when you were younger, did you also already have a beard and work with the same species, or did you work with a different species then?
No, the reality is I've always had a beard.
So we learned...
It's just got grayer.
It's got grayer. And final question, in this session we learned that pollination is not mostly driven by bees. Most people don't know that. Why is that? Just because people don't look or not interested or are afraid that they got stung, or what's going on?
Yeah, I think honeybees dominated our thinking about what pollinators are. Yeah? And actually honeybees can be very ineffective pollinators in many systems, like the ones I was talking about where flies are undoubtedly the dominant pollinator. And I think for the layman, pollination and bees are associated, right? Flies don't enter the equation at all.
Do you think we will change that before all the biodiversity is gone, so that people understand that we need a lot of species and not just honeybees to continue to live as a human species?
Absolutely. I've been giving lots of popular talks on this stuff, and I mean, it's amazing. Audiences are really receptive to the new idea. People think about flies as house flies.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So what would be your tagline if you want to promote people look more into flies instead of bees?
Ooh, tagline.
What's the best thing about flies?
Flies are the bee's knees.
Thank you very much. Cheers. The next session is going to start and continue, and here's Mark, but Mark with C. I'm Mark with K.
Hi.
You're Mark with C.
Yeah.
From Flandern.
Flanders, yeah, I correct him right away. But I had just a question: if he is responsible for the decrease of insects in Western Germany, and still waiting for an answer here.
Exactly. So I will for tomorrow in the morning, I will try to show the whole technology, why we have such a huge decrease in biomass loss in insects. But before we do that, we'll do that tomorrow. I'll just ask you, why do you like long-legged flies? What's the beautiful, the long legs or the flies itself?
Yeah. I mean, it's You should have a look. I mean, if you really look into details, the males especially have these ornaments you cannot imagine. I mean, and the biodiversity, there are like 7,900 species, but this is only tip of the iceberg. You find easily tens of new species, even hundreds. I have a subfamily with over 200 species unidentified right now. So
wait,
in the neotropics, not in Flanders.
Not in Flanders. So you found 200 new species. Did you say that?
Yeah.
How do you name them? First, I guess, after your friends, after yourself, after your wife, after your mother, and then?
A relevant question. No. I look for the morphology to make it easy for the colleagues to use the name to recognize the species. And if I'm out of inspiration, then I think about my friends and colleagues.
But what would be an idea? So let's say you have long legs, so you cannot call them the long-legged fly. So what would be a feature that would be helpful?
So these are Dolichopodidae. So the main genus is Dolichopus with the long leg, Dolichopus longhipes. Easy. If it has long legs, Longhipenis. Easy.
So there you go. And which type of ornaments do you have? Do you mean like colorful ornaments or protrusions?
No. Protrusions. Some look totally weird. Like we have this campsite named as Magius in the Palearctic, and it has on each of its dorsal segments it has a different, very weird like protrusion. It's amazing.
Do you know what it's good for? Is it for mating and to attach to each other, or
it's to seduce the lesser obvious females. Females in flies are like kind of boring.
Cheers. The Congress is now close to the end. This is the last big plenary talk in the huge room, and here's one of the students. Mm-hmm. And you said you don't have a favorite fly, but you have a favorite mosquito or several, maybe.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Hi, so I'm Rose Joseph, and my favorite
from where?
Namibia. So I'm doing my master's in medical entomology, and I'm dealing with Anopheles mosquitoes.
So these are the ones that transmit malaria, right?
Yeah, around here. Mm-hmm.
Are you not afraid?
No.
Why not?
Because it's so much fun and it's fun working with this. And I'm rearing them in the lab, so I've grown so fond of them. It's as though they are my babies. Yeah.
And do you also feel kind of affection coming from them to you?
Not quite. No, I feel like this is one-sided.
It's a one-sided relationship. What do you feed them? Blood?
Yeah. So the larvae, we feed them dog biscuit mixed with yeast, and then the adults we blood feed them. We have volunteers who put in their arm, and then the mosquitoes sit on them for 15 good minutes.
Why does it take so long?
We can ensure that they are fed enough. Yeah.
Well, and you know that they are not infected, of course.
Yeah, because there's lab red, so meaning they are susceptible. They do not have the plasmodium. Yeah.
So let's say you're a white-faced person now coming to a country where you may get malaria or something like that. Do you have any recommendation what to do to not get stung? Because, for example, my wife, she's very, very pale and she gets stung all the time.
Oh, okay. So what I'll recommend is that you get the malaria medication or vaccination. Yeah. But what the precautions that we do here is we have bed nets.
But that's it?
Yeah. That are impregnated with insecticides, and they help quite well.
And there are different types of malaria, right?
Different types of malaria?
Yeah. No? You only have one?
Yeah, only one.
Sleeping sickness. For sleeping sickness, there are 2 different types, probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's not your thing.
Yeah.
No dipterogram, no sleeping.
In Namibia, we only have the one that is called plasmodium.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Do you have any tip for white-faced people how to not get stung by insects or pests?
Insect repellent or?
So bed net, insect repellent.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. Are you also very fond of Anopheles?
Yes.
You like them?
Yes.
Do you also think it's a one-sided relationship? Your colleague thinks it's a one-sided relationship.
In terms of?
Kind of.
Do you feel that they also love you?
No. What is
Otherwise, they would not be giving us malaria.
What do you like best about the mosquitoes? Their antennae, their legs.
I think the wings. They are so sophisticated.
You like the wings?
Yes.
What do you like best? Which body part?
That should be the wings as well.
Cute. All right. So I let you listen to talk now. Bye.
Bye.
Hallo Marc.
Hallo Ines. So, wir stehen hier mitten in Namibia. Man sieht überall Wüste, die Welwitschia-Pflanze, die hier nur hier lebt und so weiter. Und ich hatte mir extra, um was Cooles zu machen, hier diesen Anhänger mit Schlangen anfertigen lassen.
Ja, genau. Ich habe ihm nämlich einen Vorschlag gemacht, er sollte irgendwas mit Voodoo machen. Das ist irgendwie ziemlich cool.
Warum? Ja. Was ist denn da dargestellt? Warum sind da Schlangen?
Das ist der Schlangengott. Es gibt einen Schlangengott und eine Schlangengöttin.
Was machen die?
Die Schlangengöttin ist die Regenbogenschlange, die Beschützerin der Welt. Und der Schlangengott, das ist eine schwarze Schlange, das ist der Beschützer des Lebens.
Ist sie denn bunt, die Regenbogenschlange?
Ja, klar ist sie bunt. Und der Schlangengott ist
schwarz, so wie ich. Und jetzt, wie ihr seht, sind im Hintergrund jetzt gar nicht so viele wüstenähnliche Dinge und auch keine Welwitschia-Pflanzen und auch nicht das große Welwitschia kennst du nicht, das ist hier die einheimische Pflanze. Das können wir nachher, hinter uns ist der deutsche Buchladen. Wir können im deutschen Buchladen, können wir morgen, jetzt ist schon alles geschlossen, können wir da mal
Es
nachgucken.
sind eine ganze Menge komische Pflanzen, die ich nicht kenne, deswegen ist mir das nicht aufgefallen.
Ja, und deswegen wollten wir euch mal zeigen, was es hier an modernen Sachen gibt. Und zwar hinter uns, das ist eigentlich so ziemlich die coolste Weihnachtsdeko aller Zeiten, ist eine Schlange, die einen Weihnachtsbaum bildet und von einem Giraffenkopf gekrönt wird. Kann man das so sagen?
Ich bin nicht so sicher, vielleicht ist das auch keine Schlange, sondern das ist einfach nur Weihnachtsbaumdekoration, also so eine Lichterkette, die man da drumherum legt.
Also ich glaube, es ist die Regenbogenschlange, die die Mitschöpferin der Welt ist und die zusammen mit ihrem Kumpel, der schwarzen männlichen Schlange, hier oben die Giraffe umwickelt.
Meinst du, die sind Kumpels?
Ich meine, die sind Kumpels oder Freunde oder vielleicht sind das Lebenspartner.
Das sind bestimmt Lebenspartner.
Dass diese beiden Lebenspartner, die das Leben erschaffen, warum passt das eigentlich gut zu mir? Warum findest du das Lebenserschaffende oder Beschützende?
Nein, nicht das Lebenserschaffende, das Lebenbeschützende.
Warum findest du, passt das zu mir?
Ja, weil du magst Tiere, du isst ja keine Tiere.
Nein, du auch nicht.
Und du versuchst immer Verbrechen zu verhindern, indem du versuchst, sie zu verstehen und dann, also du willst nicht die Bösen jagen, sondern du willst verhindern, dass es überhaupt passiert. Das ist ja auch, dass man Leben schützt.
Das stimmt, da hast recht.
Also du bist kein Richter, du bist niemand, der irgendwen unter Strafe stellt. Also du bist nicht der Rächer, sondern du bist der Beschützer.
Ja, das stimmt, wirklich, da hast du recht. Und Tiere mögen wir auch. Ne? Wir haben jeden Tag auf dem Kongress unsere Spinne besucht. Morgen gehen wir wieder hin.
Tagsüber ist jetzt so warm.
Tagsüber ist
jetzt, nicht gesehen.
Ja, die sieht man nur im Schatten. Also wenn ihr wisst, was es hiermit auf sich haben sollte, also ich sage, es ist die Regenbogenschlange, die von einem Giraffenkopf geziert den Weihnachtsbaum bildet. Wenn ihr eine bessere Idee habt, postet es bitte hier drunter. Who knows? Wer sind wir schon? Nur die Regenbogenschlange und die schwarze Schlange. Wir wissen nicht alles. Aus Namibia. So. Hier direkt am Tagungsort sind die Nester von Webervögeln, die ihre Nester als Kugeln weben.
Ja.
Kann man nicht anders
von
sagen.
Unten einen Eingang machen.
Und von unten ein Loch reinmachen, sodass von oben keiner reinkraxeln kann. Und sie machen, haben wir gelernt, manchmal auch mehrere von den Kugeln, um den Weibchen die Wahl zu geben, in welches Häuschen diese Weibchen
Ja,
werden.
welches ist das Hübscheste? Also dann macht das Männchen halt 3 oder 4 und dann sagt er, ja, das ist cool. Welches möchtest du? Die sind alle geil.
So sieht's aus. Ja, die Früchte sind direkt am Baum. Das ist also auch ganz praktisch für die Webervögel hier. Da sieht man es schon, da haben sie auch schon einiges runtergeschmissen. Da sind die Nester. Und während wir die Webervögel hier angucken in ihren Kugelnestern, die ein Loch unten haben, fällt uns was auf.
Dass sie nicht rausfallen. Also uns wundert, warum sie nicht rausfallen. Zumindest die kleinen Babys. Oder die Eier. Warum die Eier nicht rausfallen.
Ja, das müsst ihr jetzt aber wirklich mal nachgucken. Oder ihr postet es hier drunter. Ich habe wirklich keine Ahnung. Die Löcher sind wirklich unten. Also es ist auch keine. Oder vielleicht, ich sehe es. Guck mal. Da ist das Loch und daneben ist noch eine Beule nach unten.
Aha.
Ja.
Okay.
Muss man sich einfach mal selber angucken, sowas. Sonst kommt man da nicht drauf. Hier ist ein anderer Vogel, den findet die Ines super. Warum gefällt dir der so gut?
Weil er ein kleiner Punker ist.
Ein Punkervogel.
Ja, er hat einen Irokesenschnitt.
Und du hast einen Witz dazu, den kannst du erzählen.
Ja, da geht ein Spatz zu dem Punkervogel hin. Ich weiß jetzt leider nicht mehr, wie er auf Deutsch heißt. Und fragt ihn, warum seine Eltern ihm erlauben, einen Irokesenschnitt zu haben. Und da sagt er einfach, ja, meine Eltern haben auch einen. Und der Spatz sagt dann, wow, coole Eltern.
Sehr, sehr geil. Das ist unser kleiner Punkervogel hier. Ja, es ist ein bisschen gewitterig hier. Wir sitzen oben auf dem Dach. Vielleicht sollten wir mal nicht mehr auf dem Dach sitzen.
Man hört noch keinen Donner. Also man hat nur einen gehört, aber es hat sehr, sehr lange gedauert. Also warten wir einfach mal ab, bis es ein bisschen näher kommt, falls es näher kommt.
Das sind Blitze, Alter. Sehr schöne Blitze, ne?
Ja.
Hast du schon mal so viele Blitze gesehen?
Ich glaube nicht, nein, so viel auf einmal nicht.
Ich habe auch noch nicht so viele Blitze auf einmal gesehen. Irre, echt der Wahnsinn. Okay, maybe some of you heard my talk the plenary talk in the evening. So that's a swarm of flies, obviously. I'm a forensic entomologist, so I deal with everything very sleeves up and very case oriented, and I'm going to do this now in this case too. So I would be like, the little dot here in the swarm of flies, but I want to go a step back. So this picture was taken 2 days ago, and maybe, let's say Dipterology now is the little yellow dot here, because we had a huge and interesting problem in Germany. I want to show you what's going to happen. So that's our logo, our company's logo, and we let the light of truth, so to speak, shine in our case. So I want to treat this like a case. What most people don't know, obviously, is most of the biomass is composed of insect matter. This is just trash. It was given to me as trash from a museum in Cologne. And of course, everybody has their favorite insect. So even if you're an insect specialist or dipterologist, and maybe you have your specialized group, in former times it was very well known that insects are everywhere. This is from a school book. The first pictures that you will see, I showed them 2 days ago, animals. For example, earthworms. Most of you probably are not interested in earthworms, but some people are. The earthworm people are interested in all of a sudden in insects, so they're quoting the studies relating to insects with the decline of insects that are going down. And what happens to earthworms is not only are they also dying out, but also their size is diminished. So it's probably just an effect of earthworms getting smaller. Darwin was interested in earthworms. I like earthworms. We all should be concerned about them as much as we are concerned about Diptera, because in the same time as the yield of crops goes up and up and up, as you see here, the earthworms are dying out there's a rapid loss there, and probably that's a different effect to everything else that you see. All right. So with this, and then I will just stop. Many other animals are also dying out, and exactly in the same range as the Clearfield study. Giraffes are dying out. This started also in the late 80s. Probably you don't realize that, but soon we are probably going to see giraffes only in the museum. I give you the most interesting data here. These are elephants. Elephants reproduce very, very easily. If you leave them alone, they're just going to reproduce, no problem. But they don't, because the land use is so high. So this affects all of these animals, and that's just what I wanted to show you. You have to be very, very careful, because we have the tendency to split it up in microbiotopes, microtemperatures, and so on. But it is actually a global trend affecting all the animals that we see, and it's exponential, and it's dramatic, and it's probably not only related to the factors like neonicotinoids and global warming by itself, and CO2 as we would expect that to be. Yeah, with that I will stop and bring ourselves back into the time schedule. Thank you very much.
So we wanted to examine the relationships and construct the first phylogeny of Thalamoleid so that we can have a stable.
The final day of the Fly Expert Congress. Here is a true fly expert. He is not only an expert in taxonomy, meaning the details of the actual flies, but he also loves forensic entomology. How come?
Well, I don't practice in it. It's just an interesting topic.
And you did a training?
Yeah, I did some training as a master's student with Paul Katz.
What did you take from that training?
Just that it's a very interesting field.
But now you thought about what should happen with your dead body, with your corpse when you die. So
Yeah.
what would be your preferred method of body
I
deposit?
told my wife I'd like to be thrown unceremoniously into a field.
Which type of
flies.
field? Fruit, crop, grassland?
Any, wherever there are flies. to come take me.
And is that because, as much as I like the circle of life and everything, is that your idea? So do you feel deeply in touch with nature, or what is the reason?
Well, if I'm carbonized or burned, then basically it's going to be a very long time before anything is seen again. But if the flies take me, it's right back in.
Yeah, that's right. So do you? Somebody said during that congress, you get a better feeling of being embedded in our world when you understand flies and the circle of life. Do you feel the same?
I think so.
I think so too. It's a good idea to look at nature. What's your favorite fly?
I work with flies that feed in leaf litter and decompose in forests.
So that's also decomposition.
Yes.
What's the name of the flies?
Loxiniidae, family Loxiniidae.
And do they have like a common name? Like maybe you can make
flies.
maybe you can make what would be a feature that could be popularized, like long legs or colorful wings?
Not really.
Oh wait, dead leaf eating flies.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very much. One more thing. On your arm, I see an octopus, but it's not an octopus. It's
Cthulhu.
In reality.
Yes.
Is that is not an insect? I mean, it has eight legs, probably, or 8 arms.
No, it has 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 wings, actually.
If you don't know what Cthulhu is, go Google it. Cheers. So, gleich ist die große Abschlusszeremonie des Kongresses. Und Ines, du hast was gehört.
Ich höre schon die ganze Zeit Grillen.
Die Grillen, die sind hinter dieser Tür.
Ja.
Noch kann man nichts hören, aber hier. Wow. Wow, es ist hell, es ist laut, es sind Baumgrillen. Könnt ihr die hören? Hast du schon mal so laut Grillen gehört?
Ich glaube nicht, nein, die sind hier sehr laut, wirklich.
Die sind wirklich sehr laut, aber wir gehen.
Und es ist sehr hell.
Es ist sehr hell, wir gehen wieder rein. Es ist zu hell, es ist zu warm, es ist zu laut.
I thank you for attending the event and for making it such a success. For those of you who are visiting Africa for the very first time, we hope your experience has been a pleasant one and that your time in Namibia has helped dispel some of the negative stereotypes that are often levelled against Africa. I thank the Chair of Council of the International Congresses of Dipterology, Thomas Pape, and the other members of Council for having had the trust in us to make this Congress possible for the first time in Africa.
Standing ovations. Habe ich auch noch nie erlebt beim Kongress. Nein, das ist gut. This is Dan. He said something very important because we're all specialists. Here is, for example, a Stretcho Milch girl from Colombia.
Yeah.
And everybody's specialist, but you have a message there.
My message is, it's more important for the flies to survive than for us to know them. Our knowing them is secondary.
And the only way to do it is to keep the environment halfway
yes,
intact.
That's right. Some people are too much into their own work and their own career, but that's not the real issue. The real issue is that we are newcomers in the evolutionary history of the planet, and it's much more important that we keep it.
What do you think is the best idea to keep the environment halfway intact?
This is a real problem because there's more and more people want resources. Gaia might have some ideas, but I don't know what Gaia is thinking. If Gaia almost had it with the Ebola virus. Sorry, that sounds very negative, but this is the world.
Probably humans will disappear. Maybe humans will just disappear.
Do you think humans will disappear? I don't know. They might, but I think they'll get more miserable. I think, for me, I'm glad I lived when I did. I have some white hair, because I think it's going to get worse. I'm every day I'm an optimist, but long term I'm a pessimist. Okay.
So young people, protect the environment.
Yes,
and
definitely.
the flies
and
in it.
Listen to old men. That's okay.
Cheers.
Oh my God.
Here's the proud winner of, what did you win?
Student competition.
First
prize.
Wow! You gave a speech. What was it about?
I did not give a speech.
Did you
But I can
put
do
up a
now.
poster?
Do you have 3 hours?
Was it a poster?
It was an oral presentation.
What was it about?
It was on phylogenomics of this weird group of flies called Acroceridae.
What special features do they have for normal people who don't know the difference between a calipharid and a mosquito?
They look really weird. Some of them are like this. Some have tiny heads, and they all are parasitoids of spiders. The larvae live inside spiders.
Inside.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like most about your favorite fly group? That they live inside of.
They do. That's very metal. They live inside the spider, then they burst the spider like an alien, and when they come out, they look really weird.
Did you just say that's very metal?
That is very metal.
So there you go. Metal Diptera flies living inside of. But do you not like spiders, or do you also like spiders?
I do like spiders, but I like flies better. So yeah, team flies.
Cheers and congratulations.
Thank you.
Hello, Liping. No, I'm just asking you something.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
first of all, people need to learn how to how to say the names in Chinese. So you put your first name first and your family name second.
Yeah.
But at home you don't do it, right?
Li Ping, yeah.
From which country do you come?
China.
Very good. How did you like the Congress?
It's fantastic. It's it's one of the best conferences I have ever been to.
Really? Me too. I'm really excited. I saw standing ovations at the end of a Congress. I've never in my life seen that. Have you ever seen standing ovations?
No, not really.
Nah, not really. What is your favorite fly?
Many.
Many?
I cannot say, because many flies are so beautiful. I'm fantastic by many flies.
Well,
Sorry, I cannot give you this answer.
Let's say I'm 3 years old. Which one would you recommend for me? Which fly? Caliparids, maybe they're easy to breed.
Bald flies, no, they are too difficult, but beetle flies.
Beetle flies or
Yes, the shiny ones.
or hovering flies, maybe. They're also,
Yeah, hover flies also works.
That's very good.
Yes.
There were not so many Chinese people here. Why?
There are.
There are? How many?
Around 10.
Ah, okay. So that's
But
very
not
good.
too many, but
Yeah, well,
maybe
at least-
5%?
It was incredibly international, wasn't it? I think we were 60 nations. Do you like that too? To meet people from so many different nations.
Sure. I would like to know.
That's the best. So that was one of the very good parts in this Congress.
Yes, definitely.
So, and you said you liked my talk. What did you like about the talk?
The way you talk. I like the way you talk, really. You talk very fast, really fast, but I can catch up with you because you talk very clearly. I like it very much.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I also work in China, so maybe yes. So which city?
So far, Beijing.
Oh, in Beijing?
Yes.
But there are no more flies alive. Last time I was in Beijing, all the flies were dead.
No, you went to the wrong place.
Okay, you promised you show me places where I find flies in Beijing.
Sure, I will.
That's a deal. Cheers. Meet you in Beijing. Hello. Here's a colleague from Poland. How do we say your first name correctly?
Agnieszka.
Agnieszka. It's not that difficult. Czech. Is that Czech? Why do you go to snowy mountains when it's super cold and look for flies? Why do you do that?
Oh, because I love the silence and white.
And flies.
And flies, of course, not only flies, because I'm doing my research work on other groups of insects also.
Which other insects?
Beetles, for example, but also stoneflies, Dipterology.
So you said there were some adaptations from the flies. So they have no wings and they have very long legs to live in the snow.
Long, but also strong to move. Not to fly.
Yeah, and then in your talk you said that the females wait until it thaws and they can deposit eggs.
Yes.
How long can they wait?
It's up to the weather.
No, but how long can they wait and not die before they can deposit eggs?
How long? I don't know, but I think that it is enough to lay eggs. But remember, in case of your specialty, they also lay eggs in the carrion.
That's true.
During the winter, so they must wait until the frost go away.
Yeah. What do you do when climate change is coming and you have no more snow in Poland?
I don't know. Now I'm also doing my research work with foster insects and Benecke, so I must I try to be more adaptive to the changing situation.
So you're also adaptive. Very good. Okay, dziękuję. Cheers. We cannot leave. It's not possible. Where's Martin? Martin just introduced me to his colleague.
Hello.
Hello. And you have, are these real maggots in your...
Yes, those are real third instar sarcophagi maggots.
Sarcophagids are eating flesh, so aren't you afraid that you get eaten by them?
No, not anymore because they're not alcohol. But yes, when they're living, yeah, they love to eat humans.
When did you become interested in flesh eating or flesh flies at all? Like when you were 3 or 7?
Yeah, well, when I was 3, I was into just arthropods in general, and then when I was at UC Davis, I became more interested in forensics and forensic entomology, as well as parasitology and medical entomology.
What do your friends think about those subjects? Parasitology, forensic entomology, and so on. What do you tell them to make it sound cool and friendly?
I tell them that it's metal.
We heard that before. Okay, insects are truly metal. That seems to be. Yeah, and do they believe you or do they avoid you? Like
they think I'm disgusting. Yeah.
Are you disgusting?
No,
Is she disgusting?
I'm an angel.
No, she's really lovely. But her pet, she has a huge colony of bed bugs, which she feeds kind of once a week or so. That was kind of borderline. But hey, everybody has their pets.
Does it itch when you when you...
Yes, it does.
How long does it itch?
A couple of days, but I actually use a Benadryl spray and it goes away. But yeah, hey, everybody's got to eat.
How can you prevent them from spreading through the laboratory, your bed bugs?
I do have them contained and I feed them through a mesh. So yeah, they just stick their little mouth parts right through the mesh.
Can you recommend that for the viewers to do that at home or better not?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody should have their own bedbug colony at home. Your housemates will love it.
Have your own bedbug colony. You heard it first from the angel. Ja, jetzt ist es Zeit, Abschied zu nehmen von den Webervögeln und von den Spatzen. Ne?
Ja.
Tschüss sagen, winkt immer. Tschüss.
Tschüss, Spatzen.
Für Webervögel und Spatzen. Für Namibia. Unglaublich aber wahr. Zum Abschied noch ein echter Regenbogen. Ist kein Fake. Ist ein echter Regenbogen.
Namibia verabschiedet sich bunt von uns.
Und eine dieser Palmen hat gebrannt, aber das ist jetzt eine andere Geschichte. Ein echter Regenbogen. Voll schön. Wow.
Und die Schwalben,
Und die Schwalben fliegen. Mein Gott, die Schwalben überwintern hier und fliegen am Regenbogen entlang. Was willst du eigentlich mehr?
Ja, also ich finde das Schöne, dass das unsere Schwalben sind eigentlich. Also
Deine?
Es könnten unsere Schwalben sein. Ja, also die überwintern gerade hier. Wir haben nämlich nachgelesen, dass die über die ganze Wüste fliegen.
Mega krass. Das ist unvorstellbar weit. Und Flugzeug 10 Stunden.
Und die fliegen das von Hand.
Die fliegen das von Hand, echt. Ja, wir sitzen da. Ja, wer ist das denn?
Ein kleiner ängstlicher Skarabäus.
Der ist sehr ängstlich.
Das ist angefasst, das findet er nicht gut.
Das ist unser neuer Freund, der Skarabäuskäfer, der hier am Flughafen rumläuft. Jetzt putzt er sich erstmal, weil er will nicht von Menschen angefasst werden.
Nein, findet er wirklich. Er ekelt sich von Menschen.
Ah ja.
Was haben wir gelernt? Fliegen 2.
Ja, richtig.
Wespen haben 4.
Ja.
Und sie hat 4 Flügel, das heißt,
Ja.
sie ist eine Wespe.